Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I bring you a tutorial on how to create these dangly earrings that I have on today. These earrings I created a while ago, I would say maybe a year ago, but I've had so many compliments on them that I thought, you know what, this is a great tutorial for my followers and viewers on YouTube. So I thought this would be great. You can hang anything, any type of charm that you have, you can hang on it. These are just charms from like bracelet charms that I had created previously, and I had these two little flowers left over, and I thought, you know, what can I do with them? Well, earrings, of course, but how? And this is when I came up with this design, which is like a triangular form, as you can see here, and it has a little hook where your lever is going to go in and it's not going to come off. They're long enough that they will hang in place, and they will always show up front or to the side, as you can see. Aren't they gorgeous? Anyway, I am going to show you different types of wires that you can do it with, and as well different types of charms that you can do it with. I really hope you enjoy this tutorial. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and share with your family and friends. If you have a Facebook or an Instagram, do follow me. I post a lot of new things that I create on Instagram and Facebook, and my name will be linked somewhere here below. As always, in the comment you can find all the things that I've used for this tutorial, as well as how to follow me on Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest or wherever you're at on the web. Thank you so much for watching again, and I hope you enjoy this tutorial. So let's get started. So to begin with this project, you are going to need a couple of things here. You are going to need artistic wire, or any type of wire that's 18 gauge wire. You can try to making it with a 16 gauge wire. I believe it's going to be a little bit harder just because the wire is thicker than this than the 18 gauge, and you're going to have a harder time just bending it and just working with it. So I suggest an 18 gauge, or maybe even a 20, depending on how big you're going to do the earring. For now, we're just going to stick with maybe 1 inch or inch and a half of an earring, but you're going to need these items. You're going to need for sure wire. You're going to need wire cutters if you're using wire, artistic wire. You are going to use round nose pliers like the ones I have here. You're going to need a surface where you can hammer. You're going to need a hammer. And yes, this is a regular hammer that, as you can see, I found, I think it was at Big Lots for $5. It's been with me for a while. There are some hammers out there that are specifically for hitting these metal surfaces. And if you have them, great. If you don't have it, a regular hammer will work. You'll also need somewhere a solid surface where you're going to do the hammering on. And if you don't have this, a piece of wood will work. You don't have to specifically go out and buy one of these. These are really expensive. I have a rubber one underneath it, just because if I hit on this one, I don't want it to be, I want it to be a solid, when I hammer on it, I'm sorry, I can't explain it, but when you hammer on this, it stays in place and it doesn't move anywhere, versus if I do it here, it's just, my table completely shakes. This just absorbs the shock of it, and I think that's the best way I can explain it. So I have both of these things here. Again, pick a charm of your preference. I have here some charms, and I'm going to show you a variety of them just so you can see what you can definitely hang on. You can definitely put on the earring. These are just charms that I have for with the zodiac symbol. This one's Cancer. You know, I have different ones. As long as it has a place where you can put a jump ring, or if the actual bead has already a jump ring like this one, then that's the kind of charm you want to put on. If you don't have a hole like this on the actual charm, it's going to be really hard to put it through the earring. So I suggest This size, it's perfect. This is very lightweight. Unless you have something else that you want to put in. It could be an heirloom. It could be, I don't know, something that your children have given you. Any of that. I also have these other rings right, charms right here. They are the OM charms. So any of these will work. I'm going to put them right here. And as you can see, these I will have to put a jump ring through them because they don't have the actual jump ring. Or these, I can use those as well. And I'll have to probably put a jump ring through here because the way you set it on the earring and the way it hangs, it depends on your wire, okay? So you can use any of these. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see that there. I'm gonna remove this metal plate here, but I'm gonna put it on the black one. Maybe here you can see it better. So this is where I would do my jump ring here and here or here in any of these corners, okay, for any of these jump rings. I'm sorry, for any of these charms. I'm just showing you variations of charms that you can definitely use for the project. And these are the ones I'm going to be using today, but you can pick whatever you want. And these, I thought they were so cute. They're colorful. You can, if it's a gift that you are going to do, it has like a little rhinestone in the middle. You could definitely pick up a charm with, let's say my birthday stone is red for Ruby, so I would use red on both ears. So it depends on what you want to do and how you want to do it. For today, we're going to just take the two aqua ones that I have right here, and we're going to use those two. And again, these are charms that I've been collecting from other projects that I've had left over, and I'm saving them on the little containers. And if you haven't seen my video on how to organize jewelry and how you can use containers, this is part of that video. I'll link it somewhere around here. Okay, so these are the two that I'm going to use. I'm going to put this up here. Perfect. And I'm going to move everything out of the way, and we're going to start creating the earring. The one piece of, the one thing I did not show you is that you're going to need a ruler. For some reason, in all my projects, almost the majority of the time I do use a ruler. And as you all know, my desk is right here, but I have a ruler at the bottom of this desk that will show me. But I'm going to go grab a ruler really quick so I can show you the size. Okay, so here's my ruler. Okay, so depending on how long you want the earring is dependent on how much wire you're going to use. Okay, the longer the earring, the longer the wire you're going to use. So, okay, so so let me bring out my little cheat sheet here that I have, and I'm going to show you. So I have here that for a 1.5 inch, for a 1.5 inch earring, you're going to need 5 inches of wire. For a 1 inch earring, you're going to need 3 inches of wire. And for a 2 inch earring, you're going to need 6 inches of wire. Okay? And if you want to, I'll just link it down below. That way you know. But that's basically the measurement. So right now I'm going to create a 1.5 inch of earring, of the size of the earring. So I'm going to cut here on the 5 inches because we said 5 inches. And that's going to be right there. And I just hold it with my hand and just cut it. Okay, let's see if I did this right. Whoa, hold on. I think I cut it a little bit too long, but you know, that's what cutters are for. You just use them and you cut again where you need to cut. So let's see. I just have maybe just a little bit more there. Let me cut that a little bit. I have probably like that that much extra. Okay. So there are my 5 inches of wire. Okay. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to cut another one. Okay. I'm going to zoom in a little bit with my camera so you can see what happens here. Okay. So now what I want to do is bend one side of the wire. Now, because my earring, and I'm going to show you the earring right here, because my earring is going to go from here to the top and down and again around, obviously this one of the sides needs to be longer. So I'm not going to completely bend this in half and pretend that this is going to be just the same size, because it's not. So for me to achieve this side, and I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to show you the measurement of it, okay? So from the top to here is, and I'm going to say here, this where the wire gets to, it's 1.5 inches. You see that? Just right there, 1.5. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to pretend that this little end right here is going to be sticking out like that. And from here on, I'm going to measure 1.5. So here's my ruler. And I'm going to measure from that corner right there, 1.5, which is right here. Okay. I'm going to grab it with my pliers right there. Okay. So now that I have that, and this is my outer edge, okay, I'm going to bend this down. And before I do that, you see how this is at the tip of it? Depending on how big you want that to be looped. See how thick how round that is right there? Let me show it to you again. Hold on, I'm sorry. How round that is? I can do that over here because it's going to be a little loop. A loop like that. So I don't want that. So I'm going to push this wire back. And you see how this is thicker right here? You're going to pull that down on both sides. And it's going to look just like that. Okay? See how that's going to look? Just like that. Okay? Now, I have my little hook here. I have my extra stuff, my extra piece right here, okay? I am going to look again, and this is why you need a ruler. If I cross this, and I let that be the outer edge, from here to here, I'm looking at where I need to do my next bend, right? But if you see here, my next bend is where it holds my charm, right? Okay, so what you do is you're gonna again grab your pliers, you're gonna put it right there, okay? That way you have the measurement of it, so you know it's on this edge right here, okay? And you're gonna grab this and you're gonna bend it out like that. You opened it and you bent it out that way. Now once this is bent that way, and this is just not going to be on a straight angle, it's just going to be a half angle like that. Okay? I am going to grab it right there, and I'm going to show you. This is kind of hard because the camera doesn't allow me to do this, but I'm going to grab it right in that corner in there. Okay, where I have like a bigger loop. Okay? And I'm going to bring it back in through the loop. Again, I bent the cable. Then now I'm grabbing it right here. Just put it in there like that. Okay? Or like this, however you're comfortable with it. That's what it's going to look like. And let me zoom in here again so you can see. I apologize for just going back and forth here, but let me zoom in. There we go. Okay. This is my wire. I put it in my plier right here. okay? Straight with my wire, and then I'm going to come back in. Now watch me how I do that. I turn, 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 turn right there. See how I did that? And the reason you're going to do that is because this loop right here is what's going to hold your charm, okay? Then you're going to step out of that and insert the other side, okay? And you're going to bend this back, and this is what you get. You see that? I know it's hard. I know you guys are going to say, I got to see it again. I got to see it again. Okay, so I am going to show you again how this is done. Okay? Hold on. Let's do this one more time. Okay, so now that you have your ear wire, and this is how it turned out to be, okay, you don't close anything just yet because you have to put your charm through here. So I'm picking up my charm, I am putting it through, okay, and I'm going to close that gap right there. So that what's going to happen is when I close this gap, this is going to want to bend, and that's fine because look, I'm in there, I close the gap, okay, I hold this in place, and I just bend this wire just a little bit. Not a big deal. The important thing is that that charm is in there, it's not coming out. See how it's not coming out? It's just going to stay there. So all you did was crimp it right here. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, okay, now what? You have all this piece of wire hanging there and you need to close it in, right? You're going to do a loop on this wire, wrapping this other wire. How do you do that? Well, you know, move this wire out of the way. If you feel like you need to cut on this wire, obviously you're going to measure it and you're going to say, okay, I need to close the loop here. And this is how we do it. Grab it and twist it like you were doing a loop. There you go. And now all this needs to be cut. Okay, there you go. So there you have it. You can do this in a smaller way or a bigger way. It doesn't matter how that turns out because this is just going to close it in there. See how that is just going in there to close it. Okay, and you can use your earring just like that and be done with it and not worry about anything else. Okay, but I wanted to take it a step further, and that's where your hammering comes in. You don't have to do it, but I like to do it because it makes this curve stronger and it just leaves it in the way I want it to show it. So let me zoom in here so you can see what happens when I hammer this. And I'm going to gently hammer this. Let it focus for just 1 second. There you go. Okay, I'm going to hammer, and every time I hammer, I'm going to go that way, to the side, okay? Now look what happened. This created a flat place right here where this is going to be really hard to just bend out. Let me try to bend this out. You see how that doesn't budge there? I'm pulling it, it doesn't budge. That's why you do that hammering. If I had a regular earring and I try to pull it out of here, and I'm going to do that right now, I can bend that. You see how I can bend that? Because this is not strong enough. But once I hammer it, I'm going to try to bend that. That's really hard to bend. It just won't budge. And this allows it to be like a little spring. You see? See how that's a little spring? And that's it. You hammered it from one side. If you want to do the other side, you can do that too. Okay. You can hammer the whole entire earring. I just don't like it. I just like it just up there. That's about it. Let's do the other side. Okay. You're going to keep it as straight as possible. And there is your earring. That's it. You are done with your earring. That turned out to be so beautiful. Now when you wear it, which I am going to wear it for you guys and then show you in a couple of minutes here, how does it turn out? I'm going to show you. See how this little lever going that way just holds this in place and this doesn't go anywhere? That's how you need to do it. Okay, I am going to zoom out the camera and I'm going to show you how these turned out. Okay, you guys, this is it. Here's the final result. Look how gorgeous these earrings look. They're just like a statement, like a piece of statement, and it only took, what, 5 minutes to finish it? These are just amazing. They're just gorgeous. Anybody would love them. You can make them shorter, longer, however you want to do them. You can add a charm, a heirloom, whatever you want to put on. It's just going to look magnificent. Well, I really hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial and that you've learned. If you've learned something, share it with everybody that you know. If you want to create some of these, please post them on Facebook or Instagram under Annette RH Designs. And until next time, God bless.